This strategy has only two tools, but the main question is, can simplicity win in scalping? Today we will test DEMA 21 with MACD momentum indicator and see what the market will give us if we enter the trade exactly according to the rules. We are not going to show only wins, nor are we going to create an unrealistic result. We will check every trade that the market gives us. Let's see how this system really works. Well, before we go to the back test, first we will quickly change the candles to Heikin Ashi, then add these DEMA 21 and MACD momentum entry and gain. What we are testing today is a 5-minute scalping system that is made by combining three parts. Here, DEMA is not going to give us an entry signal. We just want to know whether the market is more inclined to move up or down. When the price is above DEMA 21, we look for buying opportunities. And when the price is below DEMA 21, we only look for selling. But the main part of our entry is the MACD momentum indicator. This indicator, by examining momentum and entry patterns, suggests points for us to check. But the important thing is that we do not enter blindly on every signal. First, we check the market direction with DEMA. Then we wait for the confirmation of the indicator. Now it's time to see what this combination will do on the real chart. The rules are clear. The chart is ready. Let's take the first trade. First trade, I will also put the symbol XAUUSD, for example. Well, here is the first position we found. First, let's look at the general market conditions. The price is above DEMA 21. So for now, we are only looking to buy. The Heikin Ashi candles also show the strength of the buyers, and the color of the candles still maintains the bullish structure. Now we wait for the confirmation of the indicator. Here the buy signal from the MACD momentum entry engulfing appears. So we enter the trade according to the rules. We place the stop behind the last support level and let the market decide. The first few candles do not move very quickly. This is where many traders rush and think that the trade was wrong. But in scalping, the speed of the move is not always important. The quality of the setup is more important. A few candles later, the strength of the buyers increases. The Heikin Ashi candles confirm the bullish movement again, and the price reaches our target. The first trade was successfully closed. Pro tip: when using Heikin Ashi, don't just look at the color of the candlestick. One of the stronger indicators is the size of the candlestick bodies. When the bodies get bigger and the opposing shadow is less visible, it usually indicates more strength in that direction of movement. Now let's move on to the second trade. This is where many strategies show themselves, because the market is not always going to have ideal conditions. Remember to always trade in the direction. If the time frame is high, you are away from the small market noise, but not a trend change, then be in the direction of the trend. I am also saying that you are suffering in the trend now. What should we do? Second trade. Well, let's move on to the second position. This time the conditions are a little different. First of all, we will check the DEMA 21. The price is still below the DEMA, so according to the rules, we are only looking for a sell position. One of the advantages of this filter is that it helps us not to look for a buy in the middle of a downtrend for no reason. Now we move on to the MACD momentum entry engulfing indicator. Here, after a short correction, a sell signal appears. The Heikin Ashi candles are still showing selling pressure, so the conditions are ready to enter. We enter a sell trade. The stop is placed above the last resistance level. Now we have to see if the market confirms the continuation of the move. The first few candles move slightly higher, contrary to expectations. This is the moment when many traders get skeptical. They start manipulating the trade, changing the stop, or exiting early. But in a real backtest, we have to stick to the rules. Because if we change our mind after every small market move, we will no longer understand how the strategy is really working. After a few candles, the selling pressure returns again. The Heikin Ashi candles become stronger in red. The price continues its downward movement, and finally our target is activated. The second trade is successfully closed. Pro tip: a common mistake in scalping is that the trader is only looking for the perfect entry point. But what professional traders pay more attention to is pre-entry conditions. If the market makes just a small correction after a strong move and then signals in the trend direction again, the quality of the setup is usually higher. That is, it is not just the signal itself that matters. The story that happened before the signal is also important. Third trade. Well, so far we have had 2 trades and both were successful, but it is still too early to draw conclusions about this strategy. Now we move on to the third trade, where the market is going to show us more difficult conditions. Here the price is starting to fluctuate near DEMA 21, and this is exactly where many scalping systems get into trouble, because the market does not have a clear decision. The first thing that catches our attention here is that the price is moving around the DEMA 21. The DEMA no longer has a clear slope, and the Heikin-Ashi candles do not show clear strength from buyers or sellers, but the MACD momentum entry. Engulfing indicator gives an entry signal. We enter the trade according to the rules, but this time the market does not make a strong move. The price moves up and down a little, but then the pullback can be upward. This trade also became profitable with confirmation. One of the most difficult conditions for scalpers is a market that is struggling. When the price is moving around a certain range and the DEMA is flat, even the best signals are more likely to be wrong. Professional traders do not just look for signals. They first analyze the market conditions. Sometimes the best trade is not to trade at all. So far the result: first trade, second trade, third trade. Important point about the range market. Before we move on to the next trade, I would like to say a very important point about the market conditions. The market is not always going to have a strong trend. Sometimes the price enters a range market. That is, it moves between a certain range, and neither the buyers nor the sellers have enough strength to continue. In this situation, even if we get a good signal from the indicator, the probability of the trade failing increases. One of the simple signs of a range market is that the DEMA 21 flattens and the price constantly moves from top to bottom and back to top around it. Here, professional traders are less likely to enter because the market does not have enough space for a strong move. Remember that you trade in a trend where the price is always at a lower high, so there is no need to be afraid. Enter with confirmation. Take the entry and then go for confirmation. Enter with the trend. Remember, the skill of a scalper is not just finding the entry point. Sometimes it is more important than entering to know when not to trade. As you can see here, the price has confirmed another bearish trade with strong confirmation, and the confirmation of MACD, a good setup can be achieved. Well, this is the final result of testing this strategy. The combination of Heikin-Ashi, DEMA 21, and MACD momentum entry engulfing can create interesting situations. But what is more important than the indicators themselves is recognizing the market conditions and implementing the rules consistently. If you like this model of real backtests, subscribe to the channel, because in the next videos, we will test more strategies on real charts. This video is about trading in a trap trend. Thank you for staying with me until the end of the video. See you in the next.